As a child, my mother was a member of the WCTU. That is the Women's Christian
I have learned
Temperance
that.
Union.
Yeah.
And as a mother, she signed a statement that none of her children would ever use alcoholic beverage. And we had a little white boat pinned onto our clothes on Sunday when we went to church, showing we would never drink. I have never used alcohol in my life.
Oh, really?
Now, much of your medicine has an alcohol base. If it's medicinal, I have had alcohol, but I have never had an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was in the military service for 3 years, and I was stationed stateside for many of those years. But then I did go to England, France, and Germany. I was in England when Germany surrendered, and the next day we were issued mosquito netting, summer clothing, and we were getting packed up to go to Japan. And the day that Japan surrendered, we started processing the people who had enough service for months of service to come home, and we started processing the people in Europe to come back to the States in England. We finished up with that, and they transferred me to Paris, France. And I actually lived in the Baron Rothschild's chateau. And so at the end of the war, they asked me if I would stay in Germany, and they would promote me, give me some more stripes and some more money. I said, because I knew the Army of Occupation after the First World War. The war ended in 1918, and some of those people didn't get to come home till 1922. I said, you keep your stripes, I'm going home today. I don't need the money to get home. I'm going home.
Yeah.
You can keep your stripes. So I came back home after that.
Oh.
But I was too young to register. I was not sent to the Pacific. I was not sent to Japan. I was involved with German and Italian. So I knew they were our enemy at that time. Now that we're back at peacetime, they are our friends and they are our business allies.
Nice.
So we have to get over what is past and done with.
Yes.
And make the best of the present situation.
Yes.
So we're all put here. You will be interested to know that I once belonged to a church, and we hired a lady who was a native-born Japanese who became a Christian, and her family ostracized her. She left Japan and came to the United States to live after she became a Christian in Japan. And she went into full-time Christian work as a Christian educator. And she told us the story of how all people came to be. When God created the people, He created people, and He put in the oven to bake them, and He left some in too long, and they became the brown and the black people of the world. He made a second batch of people and put them in the oven, and they became out too soon, and they were white, Caucasian, or light-skinned people. He finally made a third batch. He put them in, and he timed it just right, and they came out like you and the yellow people of the Filipinos. So that's how we all got our different. We were baked at different times.
It's so fun.
I remember the day he died, especially because the day he died, Nell Reagan, who is still on the radio program in Rome every day, she's in her late 70s now, but she does the 12 o'clock news, and she used to do musical programs, and I used to go do her program the last Friday of every month for 25 years. But when the day Elvis died, she played nothing but Elvis Presley music. All the other reporters go home, and she ran the station by herself. Played nothing but Elvis Presley tunes from 6 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night.
So you really love Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
You really love it. Nice.
He just got in with he picked the wrong friends who introduced him to too much alcohol and drugs, and he killed himself.
Yeah.
On the Korean War,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's a sad situation because we all want peace in our time, and we all want peace in the
Yeah.
time of our children, and we all want peace forever. But if the Koreans do anything to provoke us, and
Yes.
they may,
Yes.
there may be an outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
If the the aircraft carrier
Mm-hmm.
presently heading to Japan
Mm-hmm.
is named for a man from Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if the Japanese sink that aircraft carrier, we will wipe them off the map.
Yes.
It will be.
Yeah.
It made a bad start and it failed.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness it didn't get any worse than it did. So President Kennedy made a mistake in doing what he wanted to do, but at least he was letting Castro know that you try something and we will respond. So actually both of them failed.
Yes,
Castro
correct.
failed and Kennedy failed.
Yep.
But it prevented a large
Yeah. Prevent a
destruction.
large destruction. Yes.
I have taken a great step for the United States.
Yes. Correct.
I was watching it, wasn't it on July 25th, about 1969?
Exact date.
We went down to a friend's house. I had just moved to Rome that year.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down to a friend's house
To watch it.
to watch the moon landing. Yeah,
Yeah. What do you want to talk
and that girl's picture has been on TV this week.
Oh, really?
They are showing that girl kneeling by the boy laying in the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
We made a serious mistake in doing what we did of sending the National Guard in there to quell the students.
Correct.
And both university administrators and the American government have both learned to deal with student unrest in a way that does not cause serious harm anymore. But it was very pathetic the way the National Guards told the students to stop, and the students didn't stop.
Yeah.
And one boy was killed in and I was stationed in Munich. I was stationed first in Fellbrook, I told you in the very beginning.
Oh. Is it?
And they are replaying that same movie, Tear Down That Wall.
Tear down that.
And Kennedy's standing there, tear down that wall, and they begin to come through the wall with their hammers and sledges from the Russian side, and we were standing on this side waiting for them to come through. That wall should have never been built
Yeah.
because that was the separation of Russia
Race.
from England, France, and America at the end of World War II. And it divided families,
Yeah,
families who lived on
Either
so
side, like if
the line
brothers.
went across there, and there were houses here and houses here, and there were
It's just-
kinfolks that lived
yeah,
there. It was a crucial and it was an insensible way to attempt to handle what was going on. You never build a wall, and President Trump will never get his wall between here and Mexico.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. Olympic.
I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Oh, really?
And I volunteered to go to Atlanta for the Centennial Olympics in 1996, and I wanted to take up tickets at the main gate. That was the way I was going to celebrate my 75th birthday, taking up tickets. It's a sad day in history, but we cannot change history. We can learn from it, and we can work toward it never happening again.